Also, guys in the chat, let us know how we sound because I never get it right, so we will fuck it up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Glenn, looks like you got a new headset, huh?
Yeah, I got that Turtle Beach Stealth 700.
Dude, those ones are the best ones.
Yeah, retardedly expensive. And
Yeah.
I deeply regret that.
And our special guest tonight, Steven Sard, he has a set of headphones and a headset, but he broke them. And he's fucking people up in the streets, just doing his thing. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. You've never been on with us. So thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, turn up the volume. Yeah. So while I try to figure out this sound shit.
Jangles is out with the ladies.
There we go. Can you guys hear that? What's up, Jangles? Thanks for stopping in for a quick second. Chat, tell us know if the sound's good. Anyways. So what's up, guys? Maybe that should be better. I don't know. I'm trying not to yell. I haven't figured this out. Just so you guys know, this shit's so bougie that I don't know how to set up the OBS software to make it come through here. So now I have to have my mic right next to my speakers so they can hear you guys. And then, yeah, that's why it always sounds like shit. And that's why my raspy-ass voice is always so loud. So I'm sorry. But you're still here. That's why I give voice stuff, so you keep coming back. Anyways.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, anyways, what do you guys, let's start with Glenn. What are you vaping on? Let's start a buffet.
Okay. Tonight I've got the outside bowl with the acid, with the bruise tone, and I've got Fuji apple strawberry nectarine. I've got the juice door on the Aegis version with breeze tones and cookie butter from Big King.
I think I just shut us off live. Oh, no. Hold on. There we go. We're back. I refreshed the page to open a new tab. My back. Dude, it's going to be a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, what did you say you're vaping on again?
Then I've got the outside bowl with passage lemons and breeze tones, Fuji apple strawberry nectarine, and then topside, or Aegis legend with the juice door, breeze tones, and cookie butter from Big King.
Nice. Did you order that recently? Through local?
I actually ordered it through another Vegas-based eliquid.com.
Oh, nice.
And was it, buy one, get one half off, so I was like, why not?
Yeah. So what about you, Steven? What you got, man?
Vape.
Oh, just the vape?
Yeah, just a vape. This is got the double barrel V3 with Pyro V3.
Dude, that finish is so pretty on that one.
I do, it's been a real kind of gloomy week, so I thought it would, add a little color in my day, and just got my K-Fun Aegis Mini. That's this is a DIY mango cream cheesecake, some sort of thing happening, and this is our rifle. That's
Nice.
it. That's all I got right now. I've been basically vaping those two things all week.
Yeah. Oh man, I actually did switch it up tonight. I did get a new. I didn't buy it. So, anyways, I got a new device. Anyways, it's the Parrot. That was a Desire Design collab with somebody else. I can't remember, but it's a pretty nice. It's my first mech that you connect to a squonker, so it's kind of cool. I'm trying not to blow my face off, so if I blow up tonight, make sure you guys like the video. But yeah, there's some breeze tones inside of it, pink lemonade. And then I got the normal setup with the top side with the goat, and then that's with Rocket Blast, so.
Let me see that mech setup again.
It's like you can screw the mech and take it off completely if you want to put a normal RDA on it, if you want it.
Yeah. See, look, man, he's got all that bougie shit going on.
Yeah, man. I'm a real vapor now on YouTube. What's up, guys? Rip Trippers, watch out, bitch. No. But yeah, so got that, and then later on, I know that's why a lot of you guys are here. Is Capstone. We're gonna give that away later. I did get the rainbow for you guys. So we'll give that away. And just
That's a dope RDA.
dude, it's so good. And if you guys didn't know, in the chat, Kevin Vape Malone, which does a show with us sometimes, he's a part of the founding group of the Migos, helped co-design that motherfucker. So I figured it'd be fitting. I tried to hit him up, see, because he's real busy working all the time, man. He's like beating himself to the bone, working his ass off. So I was like, hey, man, you should be here. And I haven't heard from him like for 2 years. So I don't know. But we'll see if he comes by later. I wanted to do
When did y'all like the other week?
yeah, he came on for a little bit, yeah. But I want to let you guys know in the chat too. You know, we always doing giveaways for you guys and stuff, and I showed Steven earlier, and I think I told Glenn or showed Glenn, I'm not sure. But at work today, I was going through some shit, right? And so I do social media. If you know the company I work for. So we used to do social media for this other company, which I'll talk shit about the people, but not the devices because I don't use them, so I don't know. Anyways, I used to do social media for Desire Design through my company, and then they thought they could do it on their own, and as you guys can see, they totally fucking suck. So anyways, we had a bunch of stuff left over that they gave me to shoot photos with. Talked to the boss, and I got a whole box full of shit for a good deal. So in the coming shows, we'll be giving away all this shit right here. We got, I think it's like the X Mini. We got 4 colors of that one. I got 4 of these fucking Mad mods. They just say Mad on it, and they have like screens and shit, whatever. And then we got some tanks and RDAs and a bunch of shit. So you guys should, you guys will enjoy it. Also, I smoked right before we started the stream. I shouldn't have. Should have waited because now I'm fucking stoned. But yeah. So yeah. Glenn, can you open your eyes, man?
Dog, this is as far as they're going.
Raise your hand if you're sober. Damn.
I think my neighbor raised his hand. No.
Dude, you know, it's a wonder I'm not a fucking alcoholic because, like, my neighbor straight up makes, like, legendary whiskey. He has it all in his, like, cellar. And oak barrels and all that shit. He made this peach whiskey. Oh, God.
Dude, peach whiskey sounds good. I'm not even a peach whiskey guy. I'm not even a whiskey guy, to be honest. But yeah, I'm sure you guys have noticed, and it's not something I wanted to address, because, like, it's not, like, something I'm using for attention from anyone. I haven't drank in a month today, or yesterday, one of those days. And it's not, like, a thing of, like, oh, like, my life was, like, fucked up or anything. Not messing with anyone that drinks, or stops drinking because they want to do something better, but I just figured to do something different. So that's why I'm smoking a lot more on the show. But yeah, I hit a month. I think it was today or yesterday. So we'll keep it going as long as it goes, but it's no promises, because you never know.
Might, have somebody hand you a pack of Trulies and you'd be like, oh, shit.
It's funny, actually. I was out last week doing photos, and it was for a friend's little sister doing some graduation pics, and they were like, oh yeah, we bought you a case of Trulies because we know you like those so you could drink while you're doing this, because I hate doing graduation photos. I hate working with kids. I don't do families. I hate that shit. No offense to you if you have a family or kids, because I know Steven has kids and a family, but it's just not my favorite thing to do photos with. So they're like, yeah, you could get drunk and have fun, but yeah. So I actually turned it down. Turned down the temptation. We just want the Lord in this house. No.
I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. It was just before Christmas. I haven't had a cigarette in, God, forever. Like, seems like forever anyway. I got offered a Cuban. Oh, like, nothing beats, like, with me, whiskey was always my, like, thing, I mean, I was never much of a drinker, but, like, I love a good whiskey.
Yeah.
And I had good whiskey, and now I had a good cigar. I was like...
I don't know, maybe I look at it different, because, like, you brought it up about cigarettes and stuff. I don't consider cigars and cigarettes parallel, you know what I mean? Because, like, you're not going to... If you're the kind of guy that goes out and buys cigars and smokes them like cigarettes, you're Fidel fucking Castro, number one. And then number two, there's no way that if no one does that for real, unless, like, my grandpa would, but he was an old World War II Marine veteran and stuff like that. And he never had it lit, but it was always in his mouth. And that motherfucker looked like, what's his name, Patton and shit, walking around all the time. But my grandpa also kept onions and potatoes in his pocket with a salt
I was
shaker.
gonna say, is that the one? Is that the one that used to chew on a potato?
Yeah. Just walking around. But yeah, real quick shout out to the chat. What's that, Glenn?
You gotta be hard as nails to do that shit.
Yeah, man. My grandpa, he was a tough mofo, dude. He lived till he was like 95, and he worked on cars until the day he died. He'd be out there with like Econoline Ford vans because he owned a junkyard in the north side of Vegas. And I'd go there and hang out with him. You know, they'd drop off my grandma would drop me off and go out and be a whore. And so, anyways, I'm over there, and my grandpa owned a fucking wrecking yard. And so they go hang out with grandpa because my mom's too cheap to pay for a babysitter because you can't pay babysitters with food stamps. Well, you can, but that's a story for a different time. Anyways, they drop me off, and I hang out with my grandpa in the wrecking yard, you know, and I just run around, break car windows with rocks, you know, the good old just stupid shit, find old porno mags. But I'd walk over, my grandpa be under like a Ford Econoline with the engine all by himself, lifting it in, pushing it in, and all that shit. So yeah, he was a hard motherfucker. But real quick on the chat, we got a couple people in here, got some regulars, you know. Shout out David Moll said he'll catch the replay. Steven Sard, he's in the chat and on the fucking camera. Like, what the fuck? Mowgli's in the house. Fucking Odyssey, haven't seen him in a while. Hope you're doing well, bro. And I think we got someone new tonight, Jason Toohey. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm like Elizabeth Warren saying she's a Cherokee by trying to say his name.
Jason, homeboy.
Nice.
Be good people.
Cool, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for coming to the show, man. And then, yeah. So, anyways, you guys want to throw what you're vaping on the chat. And then, yeah. Tick Begins is here. Shannon, what's up, homie? But, yeah. So, we got anything new in the from you guys going on? Like, what's been going on? I mean, Steven, everything is going to be new because you've never been on the show. Oh, you got it. Yeah, that's right. Could you tell the difference between the one that's broken and the one that I didn't break?
I'm not so sure that one's broken.
Because it keeps turning.
I have to, but yeah, but it's going to do that because it's got the 5 goes all the way up through because where it's a hybrid.
Yeah.
So it might just be, I haven't gone in there and looked at it. It might just be that screw, you know, when both of them get loose, they're both just going to spin.
Okay.
You know, so if that's the case, I'll send you one back if you want.
No, man, you keep it. That's all you, homie. I appreciate you for fucking being here and doing all that shit.
I gotta get cables for it.
Yeah, I didn't know. You guys see me on the show. I don't know anything about real experience of building or nothing, so I had no clue what goes with it. I don't know if can you still find cables anywhere?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can go to Home Depot and get them.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Like, you know, if you really get down, but I could probably run wicks down through it. I could run silica or yarn, but that's. I mean, I don't know, man. Like that's just old school. Like I want the cables, you know, like just the cables and the mesh, and I'll get out the blowtorch, you know.
Yeah.
Just like back in the day.
Dude, that's the old school shit. I remember them telling me about that at work because I find some old stuff floating around sometime. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? And they're like, oh, is this like silica? I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know they used to use like those weird looking silica ropes and all that shit, you know. And there's just so much to learn. And also real fast, Keto Daddy, welcome, bro. Hope you're doing good, man. We got the Tick Begins with the Vape and Slam with the Breeze Tones coils and Dead Man's Hand 13. I only knew what one of those things were.
Breeze Tones coils are hot.
Yeah. That's why I got in this the dang right now tonight. He always gives me shit because like we talk, you know, during the week, and he's always like, oh yeah, and I told him I picked up an RDA and I got his coils in it. He's like, oh dude, how you liking RDAs? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try them. I'm gonna keep trying to do like installed coils and all this shit. It lasted for like a day. I'm so lazy, man, and all that shit. But yeah, I figured I'd do him justice by putting it on the new device and all that shit.
Yeah.
And some new news. I don't know if I was allowed to say it, but I'll say it anyways. Glenn Heffner just got out of the Army today. He had his ETS date. He is now a free man. Well, kind of, unless they call you back for Iran with your IRR and all that shit, but...
You know, hopefully they will. But I could also use my mental illness as a way to keep me from doing that. Of course, at that point, they might not give a shit.
Yeah. If you go World War III, man... Like, everyone's like, because I was in for a little bit. I did 8 years, and they were like, oh, aren't you afraid they're going to call you back? I'm like, nah, man, I've been out for too long, and I'm fucking old and fat, and I'm fucking high. Yeah.
I was gonna go to war, but then I got high.
Basically. Keto says he stopped by, say hi. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping in. You gotta check out a full show when you get a chance so you can win some of these giveaways, bro. And then also, I know Keto's talked to me about it a couple times. We're bringing the Patreon back. I've just been too busy with what's going on with work and shit like that to actually get it, but we'll get the Patreon up and running in the next week or two. And then I'm gonna break it down to where we're gonna use part of it for shipping stuff, and then part of it for Legion's project or the documentary thing. So we always want to be transparent with you guys because you guys are willing to give us your money for whatever reason because we don't provide that great content, but we love you. Yeah, super love. And then we got Odyssey. Oh man, he's got a whole fucking paragraph. He's using a double barrel V3 with a drop dead and a cherry monster flavor. A Minikin 3S with the Passage RDA and blue raspberry lemonade. That sounds bomb.
Dog.
And then we got Mr. Toohey. I think I spelled because he told me how to pronounce it. I probably got it wrong. And he's running the custom DBV3 Blotto on top, the Odin with the Asgard Mini, Slam B3 Tongue Splatter, Slam B4 MO, knurled both with Carnage shot caps. Man, that's an expensive fucking setup. I'm not talking shit on the brand at all, but I don't know how people can afford like Purge stuff. Shannon in the chat. He's all about Purge stuff, man. And I'm like, bro, I could go buy a house with 4 of those mods. Like,
Dude, let me tell you something. Jason's a fucking neck getting son of a gun, man. Like seriously, I can't hang with that. Yeah, I had a Purge. Peter had. And that's what happens when you get broke,
Yeah.
Like,
well, fuck. I always thought that if you ever got a Purge, you sit on it until you hit hard times, and that money doesn't go down in value. You know what I mean? It's kind of like gold in the vape world. You just collect until you need to use it.
The only thing I think I'll never get rid of my Vindicator. That'll just die with me. I'll take it so I can use it in the afterlife.
Fucking Shannon says he's at 38 Purge mods and 19 Carnages. 38 Purge mods. Push your address, bro, and just let me know where you're at. I'm fucking coming blasting.
I was getting ready to say, we can stop by your house.
Yeah, we'll come over for some lemonade and to rob your ass.
Hey, and just so you know, like before I started doing all the tech rating stuff, that's actually what I did for a living. I actually broke into shit for a living, like for security testing and stuff like that. So, that's no problem. I can walk straight in the door, disable the alarms, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Basically, like fucking black hat in a security system.
Yep.
The only Purge that I think looks really cool, there's an Erie version, I can't remember of which one, but it's all like ribbed, and it's at the green and the red, and it's I think it's supposed to be from Jamaica or something colored, and then the Governor looks really cool because it looks like a giant ash bullet, but I don't think I would ever want to touch it with my fat sweaty hands or take it out anywhere because I'd drop it and it'd fucking look like shit after the fact,
Okay.
I know you just get fucked up and forget it somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine leaving behind a Purge mod. It's like leaving a kid.
If anybody has a slam piece, just hit me up. I've got a kidney.
Oh man, that's about how much it cost. And I know that she's not going to be watching this, but my friend Callie Co-Crafts made me this cup, and I use it all the time. Shameless promotion of our homies. Speaking of homies and shameless promotion, our little scroller at the top, you'll see that you can get 20% off your order with the code Amigos20 at localvape.com, or you can get Breeze Tones coils, and if you don't buy them, then fuck you.
Yeah, those Breeze Tone coils are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get for different sizes.
Yeah, he's working on some new shit. I'm not supposed to talk about it, so I won't, but he's going to be busy, too, for a while. He's actually coming to the States later this month to do some training for a new job, so he'll be close by. I don't know if we'll be able to hang out, but maybe. We'll figure it out, Yeah,
Shannon. Buy him a beer.
I don't think he drinks either.
Okay, hey, we can have tea.
Yeah, we can have some like what's in that green juice, like grass that's blended or whatever, you know, vegan, some vegan stuff.
You can have some.
It looks like the color of my hat. Everyone looks sad when they're drinking it. No one ever goes, I'm gonna enjoy this. You always see them going like this.
I don't eat or drink anything I feed to a horse.
Yeah, but what if someone had a horse that had, then they fed it chicken nuggets? Would you stop eating chicken nuggets?
I don't eat chicken nuggets anyway.
Whoa.
Chris is just like, we can't be friends anymore.
Made by chicken nuggets, no.
Now, let me take that back. I don't eat McDonald's chicken nuggets.
That's fair. You don't eat pink matter.
Right. I mean, come on. I live in farm country. I mean, if I want a fucking chicken, I'll just go out and kill one. I mean,
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. I remember. So So if you were to make your own chicken nuggets at home, would you get little cutouts to make shapes out of them, or no?
yeah, fuck no. I just cut that shit and stripped and bread that shit.
And I don't know about you, but dino nuggets are the best nuggets.
Well, there's those ones with the shape like the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those.
They come in TV dinners. You get the little brownie with them.
Oh man.
It was always like fucking like a rock brownie, like.
It's either overcooked or molten lava. Odyssey asked in the chat if Purge came out with a mod that looks like a hand grenade. Man, I've seen some hand grenade mods around, but I don't know who made it. So I wouldn't doubt it, though. It seems like Purge.
Yeah, well, it was Immortal. Jason's right. It was Immortal.
There you go.
Where's that one plasticky looking grenade mech that Bogan reviewed there? I want to say last year, maybe the year before.
Man, I need to watch more Bogan videos. I don't watch too much YouTube at all, period. But I'm trying to catch up with the vape community stuff. Also, you guys, if you guys don't know, check out Vaping with the Omi is on Monday before our show on Monday. And also, Fridays, you can check out the same guys, a couple of them, like Frames Janklin on the Green Room. And I think they had M Turk on tonight, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't able to get in there. Turk's alright, man.
Yeah.
He was at the rally. He was just walking around with his sign, like doing this thing that he does. You know, he just was walking around, had to sign up and like video camera like this. And he was just going around.
Yeah. You went to the rally, yeah, huh? I forgot all about that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. I mean, when I first got there, like they had just put out like the message that they were going to clear out the park so the president could leave the White House, you know?
Yeah.
And like there was like no one there. Like there was just like a few people there, and I was like, oh shit, you know? Like, because I when I rounded the corner, I was like, all right, you know, this is going to be really fucking awesome, or shit.
Yeah.
You know? And I turned the corner and I'm like, oh. So we go over on the grass and I started talking to some people there. I saw Jack from Vaping Insider in there. I was talking to him for a little bit. And while we were talking, we like looked up and I was like, holy shit, where are all these people coming from?
Yeah.
And they just kept coming and coming and coming. And I was like, yes. You know? And then when the president flew over and we were all clear to go back to the park, like it was just like a sea of people crossing the road, and it was like pissing the drivers off because like the cops got out there and they had to like stop the traffic because there's just so many fucking people.
Yeah.
And that's the part where I think like everybody, you could see the look on everybody's face. We all were kind of like looking around and like, okay, this is going to be good. This is going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, and it turned out to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, yeah. New Jersey's getting fucked.
Yeah.
and Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Um, they just announced somebody just brought up here in Maryland for it. That's going to a committee right now, economic impact committee. So Maryland,
they're doing
they
an
gotta do
economic
that shit.
impact. So what they're doing in like layman's terms, because I'm a fucking layman, is seeing how much money they're willing to lose by banning vaping to keep their MSA money. These are your politicians, people. These are the people that are sworn to be civil servants that are fucking you over. And yeah, the Turk thing and all that stuff in New Jersey, man, that shit's rough. I mean, especially with like how much they're doing it and how they're portraying it. Like they're doing like news shows or newscasts with the governor, and they're doing the sit downs, and it looks all official. And the average person that doesn't vape, have no idea about vaping, has no clue that what the fuck they're saying is wrong. So of course they're gonna believe it because the older generation of people already look at things like that negatively, and they're not getting any facts. And then, it's like the CDC still says that there might be a chance that there's something else. They're not 100% conclusive, even though everything they've released has been the THC cards and the vitamin E and all that shit. So it's getting rough. I don't have the links on hand, but make sure if you guys do follow mturk or mturk.net, Chloe, his lady, on Instagram. Give a call, shoot an email. Take a couple minutes out of your day. Hopefully, it helps them out. Because they're in the end game right now with it. They don't have Tony Stark to come steal the gauntlet, so it's up to us to steal that gauntlet. And I just use the movie reference.
Chloe, man, she's savage. Like she's straight up savage.
Yeah.
She's worse than Wendy's Twitter.
Oh man, Glenn, you gotta speak up just a little bit though.
Oh man, it's not bad.
Yeah, see, we're not like laughing at what you're saying. We're like, how like when deaf people laugh because they don't know what else, they didn't hear what you're saying. That doesn't.
No. But what I was saying is Chloe is way more savage than even the Wendy's Twitter.
Yeah, she is. She's fucking badass.
Yeah, if you guys don't follow her on Twitter, you probably should. mturk.net. And she is fucking smashing people with facts. And she's got the best snarky attitude when replying to fucking idiots. So if you guys don't follow, if you guys do the Twitter thing, I finally got back into Twitter and I hate it, but it's good for advocacy, so I'll suffer.
It can be a bit overwhelming now.
Yeah, it can be. And especially make sure you guys take breaks if you're advocating hard. Like, you'll see Steven Sarter when he's not on the chat with us, or on the video with us, he's always in the chat throwing links on Facebook, Instagram, everything. And I'm sure, so yeah, actually, let me, if you don't mind me asking, does that take a toll on you, man? Because you do a lot.
Yeah, I had to take like last month off. Like I was just done. I federally, I just couldn't. I was just so burnt. I just couldn't. Like it was just, I had too much shit going on in my life, too much other crap. So rather than just say, I'm done, I said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna, keep writing, my federal reps and stuff like that. But I'm gonna focus more on the representatives that I would have impact with in terms of, well, I'm a constituency that has to listen to me.
Yeah.
Me messaging somebody in another state, they don't give a shit what I have to say.
Yeah.
I still do it. I still do it because, it's just a show of force, I mean,
yeah.
Just if you overwhelm their inbox, I mean, it gets overwhelming. But, so I've kind of pulled back and I managed to get a phone conversation with one of my state legislators. Sat down and spoke with him about, vaping, and he was like, well, my brother quit using vaping, quit smoking.
So he has a connection to it.
Yeah, he was like, I definitely see a value to it. And he goes, and I kind of agree with you. We're banning something for kids when it's already illegal, and adults are getting kind of swept up. And he said, I'm really not down for that. He's a Republican. Is he over here on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, where it's mostly conservative? I'm kind of the outlier group. I'm more of a midliner. Probably more libertarian than would be, anything else. So, I explained to him all the stuff and how, it was vitamin E acetate that was killing people. people and stuff. And he says, yeah, he says, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. He's like, I think what's happening across the country, and more specifically what's going to probably happen here in Maryland is that they're going to ban it. He says, but it's not going to go away. He's like, it's going to come back. He goes, but they're banning it because I think to get a hold of the market so that they can come up with taxation. He goes, I agree with you. It's all about money. He goes, that's what I keep bringing it up to my colleagues. Stop. Just say it for what it is. And, he's like, he goes, I think it'll come back. I think it'll come back a lot different. He goes, I don't think it's going to stay the same like it is now. He says, there's going to be a lot of control on it.
Yeah.
He goes, because we do know there is a benefit. He goes, but it's a state, they're going to get to tax us,
Yeah.
So.
Especially with a lot of states are trying to figure that out, and I can give respect to states that are like, I don't like the ban thing, but if you have states that are coming at it with an apprehensive point of view where they're looking at like, okay, this is something that needs to be regulated in a certain way. It's like, don't get me wrong, you'll see these people, and I'm not all about government interference with anything, really. What you do in your private life should be what you do in your private life. If it's not hurting nobody, what's the problem? I mean, anyways. So I can understand wanting to do regulation, but I don't think you should ban a product to create regulation just to open it back up. You know what I mean? Because like what you're doing when you do that ban is you're creating a black market that you're trying to create regulation around fighting. And then you've already created it by doing that, so.
Right. And, he brought up a point. He's like, we as a government need to do better on enforcement. And he goes, at least in my mind, what would make me okay with things is that, okay, we can get control of it. We can figure out how to enforce this and stuff. And I go, but you already have it in place. I was like, you do just a fine job with alcohol, right?
Yeah.
It's the same freaking thing. And I was like, and I brought up the fact, why is the FDA controlling this? This is not a food nor a drug.
Yeah.
It serves no viable purpose. I mean, you can make the same argument. Alcohol does have some medicinal use. So does nicotine. But the FDA doesn't control that. The alcohol ATF controls that. See, why isn't ATF taking this over? Because ATF would just be like, fuck that. I'm not going to go and go around the country and enforce this bullshit. We need to simplify it and just make it, go away.
Yeah.
And I honestly think they would keep vaping because it makes their job for tobacco a lot easier.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is like you said earlier about like the bar thing. So like or alcohol, excuse me. So when you have people, they're like, oh, like he said, and he said, we already have regulations in place with stuff like this, and you bring it to the point of, well, if a bar were to serve someone that's underage and they get caught doing it, you would either fine them or shut them down. So if you find out where, like, if there is kids or people that aren't supposed to be attaining these products, you go after the person that gave it to them. You don't need to go after everyone else. Like, it's a group punishment, and Glenn knows what I'm talking about because in the military, that's what they start you out with. You basically start out as a group so you groom each other. But the thing is, like, we're adults in a civilian world to where there's no, like, real basis or foundation. Sure, we have VTAs and stuff like that, but vape shops don't all hang out together and say, okay, how do we do this? How do we do that? That's why you have the laws. So if you find a shop that's actually selling the kids, you shut them down. Or for the most part, which most of us in the industry know, if these kids are actually getting their hands on bullshit, it's from the parents, their older brother, or the fucking gas station. I can't think of one vape shop that I've ever heard of in my experience and being a part of this for the last 2 years that has been busted for selling the kids. And so bust the people that are doing what's wrong instead of telling everyone else that's doing what's right that they're wrong because you're too fucking lazy to go and fucking police up your state, which you're paid to do with those tax dollars.
Well, I mean, here in Maryland, there were recent sting operations they did here in Maryland. There was like 300 or 400 of them that they did, and not one single vape shop got caught selling underage. Not one.
Yeah.
It was all convenience stores. It was all like tobacco shops, like actual tobacco shops.
Head shops and shit like that.
Yeah. pipe shops, that kind of stuff, but not one vape shop specifically vape got busted. Not one in the entire state.
And that's the thing that these people don't understand. Kids won't come into a vape shop to try to buy products if they're doing illegal shit because they're intimidated by the fact that, number one, it's an actual device. You catch kids with Juul, you don't catch them with a topside dual, you know what I mean? You catch them with something that they buy at the fucking gas station with the guy that gives two shits about his job because he's making $6 to $7 an hour, whatever your minimum wage is, you know? And I'm not saying that's an excuse for them to sell them to kids, but you need to go after those guys. It's like, we don't have a storefront with where I work at Local Vape, right? But if you come in, we were able to. We're not selling the state of Nevada right now. But if you were to in the past, and this is something, because I do social media, I don't really interact with customers directly unless it's on there. Anyways, sometimes people come in like, hey, I looked you guys up on Google, blah, blah, blah. And it makes me feel so stupid, but it was like back in like November, we had these couple older ladies come in. It was a pair of ladies. You could tell they were at least like their 40s plus. But I still, you know, if I have to interact with them, we all card. No matter what you look like. You can come in looking like Rip Van fucking Winkle. And we're still going to ask for your fucking ID, you know what I mean? And I feel so childish doing that because now, you know, it's some older people, it's an insult because it's like a social thing. But then again, like you were saying, we still card everybody. That's why kids don't get caught doing it from vape shops. Is number one, it's intimidating. Number two, they know better and they think that we're going to hold them accountable for fucking being something stupid. It's like buying beer as a kid. What would you do? Sit outside the gas station and pay some random dick or Harry to give them $20 and they bring you a 6-pack and they keep the change. You know what I mean? Go after the people that are providing it, not the people that are providing a safe alternative for adults. Now I'm rambling anyways.
Right. No, I mean, you're right, Devin.
There's a trend here recently where there's tobacco-free nicotine pouches that are becoming more popular.
Say that last part again, Glenn. I couldn't hear you.
So there's tobacco-free nicotine pouches are having a huge boom right now among kids because it's so easy to conceal.
Yeah, a little like snoozes, right?
I think they're just like straight powdered nicotine or nicotine in a cellulose medium.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I keep seeing these out now, especially with those band stuff. You see all these companies popping up with these nicotine alternatives and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, it's a safe way to go, blah, blah. No, it's not. They're still going to come after you, too. It's not about synthetic nicotine or real nicotine. It's just about vaping in general, taking away money from potential smokers.
Come buy your nicotine, your Nicorette brand nicotine douche.
Yeah.
Like a little at Walgreens.
Let's hit the chat real fast. Mowgli Vape throws down as he's 59 years old and expects to get carded every time he enters a vape shop, and he corrects them if they don't. And that's a good thing about the community. We're taking care of each other. We police each other. It takes a village. You know what I mean? And then Jason in the chat also says, not to defend Juul, but the biggest seller of underage is views. A Juul setup runs almost $50, where views will run about $20. That's fair. I don't have the stats, so if I'll say Juul just because it's the common name and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all those companies right there that are not the companies that sell us, but the people that sell the products in gas stations selling to the people.
What really sucks about the whole situation is that
we can't hear you that good. All right, go ahead. Now you're good.
What really sucks about the whole situation is that Enjoy was going to the table for open vapor. Like they were there in front of the president, just giving it, and going against Juul. And it sucks because they're going to get caught up in that, and they basically bought with us, and their business model's in serious jeopardy. Yeah, I'm sorry. My mics and shit are all fucking me.
It's all good. We can hear you just a little bit, but it's just going in and out a little bit. But I think we can get the gist of it. But yeah, you were talking about how they're attacking Juul and all that stuff like that, right?
Yeah, like and Enjoy, was basically in our corner, and like I kind of feel bad for them because they're gonna like basically get tossed, and it's like, it's like, oh man, and they've already had a bankruptcy once.
Yeah.
So and like I keep telling people, like, don't forget, 2010, Enjoy went to bat. They went to the Supreme Court. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have been vaping, period. nipped that shit in the bud back in 2009.
Yeah.
It was Enjoy and one other company. They took that shit all the way to the fucking Supreme Court and won.
Yeah.
And then it was just open season to what, 2014? Then they started back in on their bullshit. So
Yeah. Because Enjoy, I don't really know them that well, but they're closed pods, right?
I believe so, yeah.
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 And that's the problem too. Is like what they banned all the flavored closed pod stuff. So like you have to get rid of all that. And here's my thing. And I mean it's common sense. I'm pretty sure all of us here would agree that if they get rid of flavors, it's probably going to drive their market down a ton because that's why people are vaping because for the flavors, you know.
Yeah, if they want to model an open system, they could just go back to like a ghost style battery and shitty plastic coatomizer.
No, like seriously, I actually wicked up an RDA similar to this. It was one of the original like Genesis style, old school things, and now it was a single coil where this is dual, but I was sitting there looking at like reviews people did on that back in the day, and they were like, "Oh my god, this flavor is banging" and all this stuff, and I'm like tasting like, going, "Dude, I get more off of dual than this thing." Like, look, but yeah, and that's the shitty part. Enjoy's gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them because they were there fighting for us.
And that's the worst part. This is going to roll over a lot of, like, big names because, I mean, sure, we understand the impending doom of, like, PMTAs and stuff like that. But as far as nationwide ban stuff, we understand that it has been coming for a little bit. Advocacy wasn't that hot of a topic, like, when I first started in the industry and stuff like that. But now it's become such a thing that it's kind of blindsiding a lot of people because there's a lot of people that are smaller companies either creating juice or products and, like, basically not living check to check, but they're supplying products and going with their demand at a slow rate. They're not as big as, like, you would see these people buying all these, like, huge names, like Defiant or these guys and stuff like that, And so now when this all comes out of nowhere, it's fucking steamrolling them, and they could have had a good product, could have been good people, but now they can't compete. PMTAs are going to bankrupt the industry for sure if they keep it at the rate it's going right now because it's going to be $1 million per flavor per nic level. And so most companies start 0, 3, 6, or 12, whatever. And if you're going to pay $1 million each level of nicotine and that each flavor, and so some companies have 8 flavors, 3 milligrams per each one. I'm not good at math, but you can add that up. That's a big fucking number that I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It's a shame to see that they're wanting to take that route because, and that's what basically this entire industry is mom and pop companies.
That's the realest shit too, because it really is. They'll be like, "Oh well, I see that you saw like 100 of these RDAs, these mods, these people that design these things." Like just off the top of my head, because it's in front of me, like Dwayne, like from Homeboy OC Recoil RDA and stuff like that. He's not a big conglomerate. He's a guy that makes stuff for people in the industry that they want to enjoy, but he's not like a Walmart guy. He's not that big of a level of money, or like like other companies and shit like that. To where like no matter how you look at it, it's gonna fuck you in the ass.
The amount of sales he gets, I'm sure doesn't cover his protein powder. Did you see that on his RDA? How he said that he's just going to squander the money. He put it in the little instruction booklet. He was like, "You would squander the money on protein powder." They say he's a pretty cool dude. I've never met him.
He comes in and hangs out every once in a while at the office where I work, and he's a great guy. I've met him a couple times. Shot the shit with him, jokes around. He's an average guy, you can talk about buttholes with him and have fun, or he taught me how to, he was telling me about how to install stuff into the Dangerite, he's very hands-on, very friendly, and always there to help, and that's the kind of people that, like Glenn said, this is the people it's affecting. It's not affecting some corporation somewhere, because you see this bullshit going around too saying vaping's big tobacco. No, bitch, it's not. Like, real vaping is their average mom and pop that started a company a couple years ago, and they were able to stay alive in the industry. And vaping is also very competitive. There's a million products out there. You know, and they somehow figured a way to create something good for you, and this is what it's going to hurt, is those guys. They got fucking kids. They got grandkids. They got families. And for them to shut them down like that, it's just like, man, it's the most disrespectful thing for the American model of thinking of, like, you know, come here, be a capitalist, make money, don't hurt nobody, and you'll be fine. And they're totally going against that. So we're going through like a whole social revolution kind of thing, I think, right now. And I'm no scientist, so don't quote me on that, but that's how I look at it. We're going through a whole... Yeah, go ahead.
Here, let me listen to this and wrap your head around how fucked up this is. Now, you're talking about mom and pop businesses. These people put their homes on the line. They put their kids' college funds on the line. I mean, the convenience stores. Okay. One guy at the convenience store was telling me that he's the owner. He's a nice guy, great dude. And I forget where he said he was from. I believe he said that he was from Pakistan. I'm not sure. Nicest dude you'll ever meet. And I said, I was just talking with him one day, and he said, I'm not going to be owning the store next week. I was like, why? Are you selling the business or what? And he goes, no. He says, my brother's going to take it over. And then he was sitting there explaining to me that basically he can own that business for 7 years and not have to pay a lick of taxes, like none. And so when the 7 years are up, he's made his money. He just sells it to his brother. His brother comes over, takes over the business. He's going to run it for 7 years. Then he'll give it to a cousin. And then he'll run it for 7 years. They don't have to pay taxes. He says, we haven't paid taxes in this store in 21 years.
Is that like a new business kind of incentive or something?
Yeah.
And so basically when you're changing the management, leadership, or whatever, the owner is technically a new business because they didn't own the business. Wow.
But here's the catch. You have to come here from another country. Like, if you live here, you can't get the same deal.
Right.
And, like, I wanted to get mad at him because I'm like, dude, that's fucked up, man. Come on. You got people here that are, like, busting their ass. They have to pay their taxes and all that shit. Like, you're shirking that. But in the same sense, you know...
Things work in the system that's there.
Well, I mean, but it is. And, I mean, I'm sitting there saying, you know, if I could take advantage of a system like that, I would. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, anybody who says no, I'm going to pay my taxes. Bullshit, you're not. Like, okay, let's be serious. But, you know, hearing where he came from and, like, the stories he was telling me, like, he was like, you know, this guy, they're a Christian family who lived in Pakistan. So you do the math there. Like,
that's rough.
Yeah. And he's like, you know, so, but I'm sitting there thinking, you know, here's these vape shops and they're putting up everything. And they're just going to, and it has mostly nothing to do with them. Like, the problem wasn't caused by them, but yet they're going to be the ones that
pay for it.
And it's bullshit. It's complete utter bullshit. And that's not to say anything bad about anybody coming here and starting a business. I'm just relaying how, like, that transit and how our government doesn't make sense. You know?
And that's the craziest thing to me too, because especially with like, so like, don't get me wrong, like that's where a lot of things work in America. Like, you work the system. The system's made, if you know how to work it, you can work it and you'll be successful. Well, and morally, is it right? Maybe not, but that's a system that's in place. And I think that's where we have a big disconnect with people thinking like, oh, it's a system I can work, and then you have morally opposed people that think, oh, you should maybe do more, do this, do that, and then it's clashing heads. And then so if you believe on one side or the other, that's you voted in or you voted out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only way you can do it. But yeah, I feel like we've ranted at you guys for a long enough second. So we're going to bring up to the new segment, which is the tinfoil hat time, where we talk about conspiracy theories that turn out to be true and how maybe you shouldn't question, you should question what the government's telling you because maybe it's not always true. So let me go ahead and throw up the graphic because I'm proud of it. Right there. You guys won't see it, but I think you were in the chat last week, Steve. You saw it. I got Alex Jones with tinfoil hat, Donald Trump tinfoil hat.
I caught the replay.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah. I'm really proud of that graphic. I get paid to do photos and Photoshop products, but that's the shittiest thing I've ever made, and I'm more proud of it than anything else. But anyways, so I think this one hits a little bit closer to home with what we're going through with the vape stuff, people getting sick, and the vitamin E acetate. And don't get me wrong, I'll say this. Of course, there are going to be people out there that basically what people are doing is they're like drug dealers cutting their product, trying to spread to make more money. That's what rappers in the 90s would talk about, selling crack cocaine. Anyways, people start getting sick, the government jumps in, and now they're banning us, coming after us, when it's never been anything with nicotine. So let's go back to the Prohibition era. So the theory was the FBI poisoned alcohol during their Prohibition phase. The truth behind it is, in 1920, the U.S. passed the 18th Amendment to the Constitution banning the sale and production of importation of alcohol, right? So basically what they're trying to do here with our vape stuff. And so some of this alcohol was made in private stills, had major health risks from heavy metals in the alcohol that could lead to illness and blindness. So basically what the government did when people went to a black market, when they banned the product of alcohol, they went through, they found stills, or they had people that were in there, like, undercover agents and shit, poisoning these people's alcohol so that when people drink it, they would die, and then people would stop drinking. And so what happened behind it, industrial alcohols were regularly stolen by bootleggers, redistilled, and resold. And so alcohol is used in paints, even solvents, fuels, medical supplies. That's why you see people that can drink stuff like Scope mouthwash and stuff like that to get drunk, because in a lot of products there's alcohol in it. And so you push people to try and find something that you should let them enjoy responsibly to these extremes to make them sick. But it comes out that the law enforcement of the U.S. was frustrated with people continuing to consume alcohol, so the government redesigned formulas of alcohol to make industrial-grade alcohol, which you put in your stills and your products, undrinkable. So basically it made you sick. So the new formulas included things that they added, such as kerosene, gasoline, benzene, iodine, zinc, mercury salt, nicotine as well, ether, formaldehyde, chloroform, carbolic acid, quinine, I probably spelled that wrong, and acetone, which is what's in fucking paint stripper. So the government said, oh, fuck you, you're not going to follow the rules, we're going to kill you, basically, and poison you. And so in New York City alone, 1,200 people became sick, and 400 died at one point, and then in 1927, that was in 1926. 1927, that increased to 700 deaths. 700 deaths because the government wanted to control alcohol so much that they'd rather kill you than try to find a way to regulate it responsibly. And so I feel like, I forgot all about it. Excuse me. Tinfoil hat time. So here's my reason for bringing this up tonight. We had all these regulations going on with the FDA and all this stuff, the fights. We had to put the warning labels on photos on top of bottles and all this stuff. And they thought maybe it would slow us down. It did not slow us down. So the government went through, and this is coming from me, Chris Vandal, no scientist. I have like 2 half-college degrees in bullshit that I never finished. But here's my theory, is that with the vaping stuff, there's some kind of reasoning there behind what I saw with this and what we actually lived through with prohibition alcohol, that maybe the government tainted vapes and made people sick to push this agenda to get rid of it so that the states and the government could still collect the tax money. And because if you notice, it happened very heavily in the United States. Very heavily in the United States. You didn't hear about this in like Brazil. You didn't hear about this in the UK, where they have fair regulations letting adults choose their things and their freedom to do that in a fucking monarchy. They didn't have this happening in Russia. They didn't have this happening in China, where they fucking manufacture the most vape products ever. So, just maybe, this is a doctored event from the government, and that's why I brought it up tonight for our tinfoil hat time.
It's
They're
very
also
possible.
putting toxic runoff in the waterways to turn the frogs gay.
Yeah, like Alex Jones said, the freaking frog's gay. So, yeah. I want to find that sound clip and put it on the picture.
That guy.
Yeah. Oh, man, that guy's batshit crazy, but he's fun to watch.
He is. He was like Rush Limbaugh back in the day. Like half of the like back when he had like his show. No, not Rush Limbaugh. Oh fuck! What that other batshit crazy motherfucker that was always on TV? He had a talk show.
I don't know.
He's on I think he's on Fox News now.
Oh, that's saying it's a lot. No.
They're all fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
CNN, Fox, all of them.
Oh, there's not one good news organization out there for you guys. Not mainstream, at least.
I'd say Vice News, but they're unreliable too.
Yeah, Vice News is real weird, man. At first, I was into Vice News, and like I try not to get political, but I have a lot of left-leaning ideas that I like to I identify with and stuff like that, but also a lot of right-leaning, so I consider myself in the middle. But I used to watch Vice News because they seem like they spoke on the subjects that mainstream media want to touch. And then, so like they would approach, especially like social stuff, like masculinity, femininity, stuff like that. I don't really care about. Not that it's not important for certain people, but me personally, it didn't feed to me. But they would do the underground, the Vice docu-series and all that stuff. And I understand there's different subsidiaries under the main brand. Anyways, it started getting weird for me when they're like, oh yeah, this girl with a banana butt in her dick or something. I don't know. It's like, that's how it goes, So I started falling off, not paying attention. And then, I figured, especially with vaping, they'd probably be more of a sound voice because they seem like a younger news group, like with their age base, the people that works for them. Before they were, because they're kind of pro-vaping now with articles at least, but at first when this happened, they were anti-vape so bad. And I don't know if either you two, I know Glenn does, so you're talking about Snapchat, they would put Snapchat ads up. Vaping's killing you, vaping's bad, this and that, this and that. And it seems they've changed their tune, so yeah, good for them. But like you said, it's hard to trust news nowadays, especially when you watch local news, and that's what these people are getting fed. Like that, your older generations, I guess you'd call them boomers if we're just being assholes about it. They sit and they watch the nightly news, They sit there and they watch that, and so they believe that everything that they're getting is genuine from the newscasters there. But when you look at syndicated news like Fox or CBS, that same thing that they're talking about is on the same channel in every other house of the country. You're not getting no new news. You're not getting nothing original. What you're getting is what you're being told to thought. And
they proved that. They proved that. They synced, like it was like 100 different TV stations, and they synced them all at the same time. They were all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, exactly word for word for word for word. But I mean, that's no different than what I do.
Yeah.
When you think about that, I mean, it really and truthfully, that's essentially what I do. I write for publications, and they're all essentially the same article.
Yeah.
And then they put their, I give them meat, they put their flair, and then.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a member of 2 journalistic trade, and every single one of these blatant lie reports, I report them to the trade organization.
Yeah.
Because that's journalism 101. You get your facts. I mean, you don't have to be correct. Okay, and let me explain what I mean by that. You can sit there and obtain information.
Yeah.
It comes from a credible source. But that credible source, I mean, they're human. They could be wrong. But you have to word it in such a way that you leave that possibility open to your reader. Like, listen, according to, even if it's an anonymous report, according to a credible anonymous report, they suggest that.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. And that's what I tell everybody when you're reading these articles. You've got to pay attention to the wording, because everybody's sitting there posting these articles up on Facebook, and they're saying, oh my God, look at this motherfucker, and they're all wrong. And I'm reading through it, and from a journalistic scope, I'm looking at it going, well, not really. Because
how they presented it.
Yeah, the overall presentation was incorrect. But if you read the fine detail, you will see that they pop those little words in there. That's how they get out of like litigation, things like that. They can sensationalize it, sell it, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Journalistic integrity died with like Dan Rather.
Man, the old days where the news was at, man, that guy, I'm not judging anybody in the journalistic field that gets passionate about what they do, but that guy went on there, he told you straight face about everything going on, and he didn't share how he felt about it, personally about it. He gave you an unbiased opinion. And that kind of brings me to the thing that you're saying, like about the article. It's about critical thinking, and nowadays I feel like that's a lost art. A lot of people don't know how to think for themselves. It's a lot easier to turn on something, agree with the headline because everyone else is, because they're not thinking about it too, and you create this fucking generation of people that don't really know what the fuck they're talking about, but they're mad about it.
Yeah, essentially. I'm mad as hell, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm just mad. Well, maybe you should go see a therapist for that.
That it takes away from a lot of problems that people might really have, thinking, I'm just going with the outrage that everyone else is mad about, stuff like that, and it could be underlying problems. I won't get into stuff like this because I have no idea about it. I'm not trained to talk to about it, but it plays into mental health things. It plays into insecurities of people. It plays into fears and stuff like that. And I think that's a lot of problems that people have is like turn off your device, turn off your TV, turn off your phone, experience life for what it really is. You know, that's why you see these people in these videos going through like, you know, like just judging somebody either by their race or the way they dress or anything like that, because that's what they're seeing on TV and they're not looking into it. Like, you know, I could wear fucking baggy pants down to the bottom of my feet. Would you know that when I was 13 years old, I was giving speeches in a congregation hall at church? You know what I mean? You don't know who the person is. You don't know this, but you know how you know that? By not judging them by how they instantly look or the first thing that you see or the first thing that you hear from someone else. Get it straight from the source.
I want video evidence of you giving a speech in congregation hall.
So I'll get into that real quick a little bit, and then we'll do the giveaway. When I was young, my mom found this guy, and that poor guy, man, that poor guy took on a white trash family of fucking 4, and met my mom in a bar somewhere, married her. I don't know how she suckered him, but I want some of that potion. It's that Bill Cosby shit, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, so he was a Jehovah's Witness, and so we, you know, of course, because she married him and he had some money. Oh yeah, that's what we are now too. So it's like, all right, yeah, whatever, cool. So anyways, we go to the church, you know, and he was actually excommunicated for some stuff he did in the past, but he was a firm believer, you know, he had his faith. Me personally, now it wasn't for me. I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I would go in and I would sing the songs, and then eventually I got to the age where I think it was around like 12, 13, and they were like, all right, you're old enough now to be a part of like giving speeches and shit, and they made the kids be a part of it, you know, either it's knocking doors on the weekends or you're giving speeches. There's no fucking way you're going to get me knocking doors on the weekend. I know how stupid and annoying that is. So I was like, fuck it, I'll give a speech. So I went up there and I gave a couple of speeches, the book of Daniel, and they're like, all right, you read these chapters and then you write a speech on how it made you think. And there's this one verse in there, I can't remember off the top of my head, where it's like, he will raise his hand to all things that are vile and all this shit. And to me, I was like, oh, he's permeating Hitler, you know, and all this shit. But anyways, so I used to give speeches, wear my little suit with the little vest, I had my little Goodwill, you know, Sunday's best and shit.
I always tell people I'm a recovering Catholic. Like, yeah, I'm a recovering Catholic, you know. You know, and that's you know, you want to get into some conspiracy shit. That's a tin hat conversation for you, because I've actually done some physical, like, actual going through archival stuff on religion. Religion's always fascinated me. You know, I'm fascinated by all religions. I mean, it just how a small, tiny group of people can control so many, and like, literally get them to do virtually anything they want them to do. It's mind blowing when you think about it. I mean, look at Jones down there in Jonestown. You know, he had everybody drink the Kool-Aid. Like,
he convinced
don't do that.
Yeah, he convinced a whole group of people to drink cyanide. There was a couple that was there, and that. So I don't really get scared about much stuff. You know, I don't have like those fears like boogeyman or nothing like that. But that right there, that's fucking freaked me out, because I saw the photos of it when I was like, you know, getting deep in the internet one night, and fucking they had all the dead bodies are laying there, and then the cops and all that show up the next day in the news and reporters, and everybody's dead laying on the ground. But there was a couple that for some fucking reason brought their parrot, drank the Kool-Aid, died, and their parrot's just sitting there on the fence like, what the fuck happened? All these people are dying, and that was one of the most haunting pictures I've ever seen. I've been to war in Afghanistan. I've seen some stupid shit, but that freaked me out.
No doubt.
But yeah, so that freaks me out.
I didn't know that there was so many religions, like so many variants of the same religion until I became a correctional officer. Like, you know, they're like, well, there's this, and this, and I go, aren't they all the same? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, what's the difference? And like this one inmate sat down and like he broke it all down to me, and I'm just like, what? Like, I always thought there's two separate sects of like Islam.
Yeah.
No, there's like hundreds.
It's like Christianity. There's a ton of them.
The same thing, yeah. And I was just like mind blown. I was just like, what? Like, you know, I always thought there was two distinct, you know, things. And he's like, oh, hell no. He's like, and he sat down and he laid it all down and showed me anything. And that's what got me starting down that branch, looking into that, because I'd never really looked down that road. You know, I'd never looked at that. And everything else, you know, from like paganism, you know, to African shamanism, to everything I'd already done, but I'd done very little on that. I was like, holy shit, how do you know who's who?
Yeah.
And he goes, whoever shows up at service.
Whoever's there at church. Like if you ever traveled the south of the United States, there's a bajillion fucking types of Baptists, and I couldn't even tell you what the differentiation is between a Southern Baptist, a New Morning Baptist. I think I saw one that was really weird. It was like a lamp Baptist, and I'm like, I don't understand any of this stuff. There's a ton of stuff. But you guys start throwing the X ones in the chat. We'll get the giveaway going. But yeah, man, there's a million different ways out there, but with the hit on the religion thing, and I'm not hating on anyone for any religion. It's just not for me personally. But religion, I think, from doing the small amount of studying I've done and in college or in school or being a part of religion, I as much as it's not for me, religion is what actually brought humanity together enough that we can be to where we are now, because back in the day, we would just hit each other over the fucking head. Take your wife, take your food, and that's it. But religion created a place where people can come together and be with each other. So as much as it, you may hate it or you may love it, it did do certain things that were good, but there's also a lot of things, personally, I will say that I don't think they did great. But that's not this isn't a place to discuss that,
Now, I'll tell you what religion's great for. Getting out of Sunday duty.
So in the Army, Glenn was in the Army as well, and if like he just said, on when you're going through basic training or AIT, you're usually basic training. You're a piece of shit. You're not allowed to do nothing. If you're smoking, you ain't smoking. You're drinking, you ain't drinking. You're cleaning all the time, or you're fucking doing push-ups. You're getting your ass beat. But on Sundays, they can't stop you from going to religious service. So you'll see a million people that you never expect to be religious in that motherfucking church on Sunday to get out of cleaning all day. And my favorite one, I don't know if Glenn's experienced it in the bases that he was at. I always loved the Southern Black Baptist Church because those motherfuckers would sing for 7 hours. And I'm over there going, ah, my little white scrawny ass, oh, hallelujah, like, and I'm not making fun of you guys, but.
I went with a friend of mine, and I turned to him after that. Like, I would, because I stayed over there, and, everybody in his family goes fucking church, So I went, and I'm thinking, I'm like I said, we're recovering Catholic, so I'm thinking, I go for an hour, it's no big deal, stand up, sit down, eat some bread, drink some wine, and you're good to go. No, these motherfuckers took a break from lunch, and in all fairness, they had lunch there, and it was fucking amazing. Like, it was the best food I ever had in my life. And when we got done, I turned to him and I go, if I went to this church, I'd be religious as a motherfucker. And he laughed. He goes, well, you're always welcome. He says, so I think you'll stick out like a sore thumb. He says, hey, everybody's welcome. And I mean, and I was. I mean, everybody was just like, everybody like turned, like the whole congregation turned. Like when I walked in, and I'm like, hi,
Hi, I'm Steven.
So, but by the end of it, like, everybody was just like hugging me and everything. It was a great experience, and of course, the variable question: what religion are you? Yeah, let's just not get into that right now.
Yeah.
you don't want to know it. If you knew you had a heathen in your church right now, like this is going to turn bad. Let's just stay on a good note.
And that's a good point right there you brought up. It's about community, and that's why like vaping's brought us together. And like it hits on religion, it hits on everything. It's about building a community. That's why these things are big, and that's why it's big to us with vaping. If anyone's watching that's not a vapor, this is why we're here. This is why we do it. We're included. If it wasn't for this, I would never have met Glenn. He lives on the other side of the fucking country, serving the Army. There's a million of us in the Army. I never would have seen him. Steven Sard, I never would have met this guy. I never would have met him from nothing. But it brought us all together, and somehow brought these random different people together onto your fucking screen in your house, in your car, at work, whatever, to talk to you and hang out with you. So that's what we're fighting for, bringing people together.
On that note,
yes, it's Pastafari.
But I was actually in a Southern gospel choir while I was in AIT. What was that? You get an AAM if you do this?
That was my favorite part too, man, around the holidays when they had the church services, because like the Baptists, they would bring in food, and they're not supposed to feed you. If any of you guys didn't know, like in the Army, basically in your basic training, you're like a zoo. It's like a petting zoo. Don't feed the animals. But they would always be like, "Oh, we know y'all having a hard time," so they bring in like racks of ribs and shit, and they hide it under the chairs. And then you go sit down, and they have the little things where they talk about what's going on in the, like, I don't know what to call it on the not the show, but when they give their speeches and stuff, like your schedule and stuff. You lift it up. There's fucking a rack of ribs, some corn, and a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or some fucking food, mashed potatoes and gravy.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And then I just want to hit Jason in the chat says vape community is one of the few multi-generational and multicultural communities for real across the world. We got people that hang out with us. ID Voca, that guy's over in Dubai. We got I'm on Mondays. I'm hanging out with 2 Australians. And it's different people. I was a kind of a partier animal. Get a little crazy and stuff. And I'm hanging out with Legion, which is like 6,000 years old, and he's the most tame guy I know now. But he's been through some crazy shit, which has great wisdom we can share. We got Adam, a great family man. He's working his ass off. That I never would have met. So it brings us all together.
When Legion put out that video, like telling his story and like his background and stuff, I was like, yeah, like, dude, I gained like so much respect for him after that, like, because that takes a lot to put out there. Just to tell your story, period.
It takes a lot. I haven't done one yet. That's why I'm not comfortable yet.
I can give you my life story in 2 seconds. I've been what I've been. What I've been, and it didn't pay too much. So, but hey, every time I go up, I raise the bar just a little. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's about that growth.
Get too damn old.
Man, I'm feeling it. I know I'm not that old, but I'm 33 years old, and I'm turning 34 this year. And man, everyone's hitting me up. It's like a Friday night, and these guys are around the same age as me. Yo, we're going out to the bar. We're doing this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Well, my dog just snuggled me, so I think I'm gonna stay in.
Dude, I can't even walk into the missus' house. Like, my missus and I, we live in separate houses. Long story, but anyway, I can't go into her house and sit down without like, it's like, oh, daddy's home. Every animal, every kid that we have, and I'm just like, I missed you too. I was gone 4 hours, but I missed you too.
Then the chat, I want to address Shannon says, hang out with those shows, never hang out with me. You stupid asshole. I've always told you should come on the show. And if I didn't, I always meant it. Because I don't think I have text proof. But yeah.
They still throw X1s in the chat.
What's that, Glenn?
So they still throwing the X1s in the chat?
I think they are. Yeah. You guys can go ahead and start slowing down on them and quitting on them. But we had them in the chat before. I think Glenn's a part of the group. We're in and Steven, you're in the group too, I believe. The shit post group that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got that going. And anyways, when the guy's Dale Power, he was in here last time, and he's a friend of Shannon's. He was talking about coming on the show, so I should probably talk to you personally, Shannon. I'll just do it because you're here. Well, I should get you guys on here, and we'll do a Friday show. I'll message you after. I'm fucking stoned.
And I drug poor Jason into the middle of this shit show. If Jason, I'm sorry, man. If you came here for quality content, oh man, what did you miss about?
Yeah, if you want quality content, watch the Monday show because the 2 older gentlemen keep me in line. Here, I'm just over here ranting like you've seen, being a dumbass. And so let's go ahead. I'll start choosing these X1s. And then, Steven, since you're new to the show, I'm going to have you choose the winning number. Let me get you a range.
Oh, and kudos to Chris for not, talking about buttholes for 20 minutes.
Actually, yeah.
Butthole conversation.
There's not been one butthole talk tonight, man.
No ladies with sideburns.
Yeah, no ladies with sideburns. I don't know, were you there for that one, Steve, when I was talking about the girlfriend I have with the sideburns, and I thought she gave me an STD? And she did it, and then the whole town hated her. But yeah, I'm sure she's doing well.
Just remember, I'm kid tested, mother approved.
Oh my god. Alright, so, Steven, choose a number between 1 and 433.
337.
337. 337. Let's see what we got. And we do have a winner, and it is Mowgli. Mowgli Vapes.
Yay!
So yeah, Mowgli, shoot me your info. I think maybe you won before, but send me it again because I don't save messages. You know. And then in the chat I want to bring it out earlier. Jason just brought it up. The Gwyneth Paltrow's Cooter candle. Have you guys seen that yet? She created a new candle. Apparently, it's supposed to be smell like pussy or something. And I think she's selling it for like $100 a pop or something. I don't know. Oh yeah. So Mowgli, I forgot to show you. So that's what you won tonight. I didn't even tell you guys. Wow, man, I'm a fucking great host. It's the.
So you did. You just too stoned.
It's the Capstone RDA. It's got the pyramid deck, and it's still in the fucking cigarette wrapper. There you go. And fucking, it comes with a clear cap as well as the studded cap, and it does a squonk over the top of the coils. And if you guys didn't know, Kevin, which is hosting with me sometimes on here, he helped co-design this with Vandy Vape and Vape Happy. So I saw it at work today. I was like, you know what, that'd be a cool giveaway, because it's one of the homies that helped make it. So yeah, you're gonna get that, motherfucker.
When I saw that whole vagina candle thing, all I could think about was her singing that song, "Smelly Cat, Smelly Cat."
It's not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Wasn't it that one? Wasn't that her?
No,
No.
that was Phoebe. Was fuck? I can't remember her name. But no, Gwyneth Paltrow is hot. This is the hot wife for Tony Stark, Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
And all the Marvel movies.
Just turn on your Xbox and stand behind it as the hot air comes out.
All right. Do you know I used to repair those things?
Imagine how terrible it was back in the day.
God, the original the original Xbox
With the hard drive where you could put all your music on, and dude, that was the one.
And then the 360 came out, and that was bad because they all had heat problems.
Yeah, they all overheated.
So, they all fucking overheated. Well, at that time, I was doing electronic repair and stuff as part of a little side hustle. People would fucking give them to me. I'd fix it. It cost me $40 to fix it. I popped that shit. Well, I used to flip that shit on eBay like it was crack. I couldn't keep them.
Yeah. The 360 had terrible problems. I'm an Xbox guy through and through. But the Xbox 360, I literally had 7 of them. They'd overheat and the power bricks would go out. I got a 1 right now. I've had it for 6 years. So it's actually beating the genre of always having to replace. But that motherfucker, man, I put in a game and it fucking spins up and it sounds like a plane about to take off. I had a small little game room in one of the places I was living at one time, and I wouldn't turn the heater on for the house. I just played my fucking Xbox and heat up the whole fucking upstairs.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know why they don't just get rid of the disk drive and go completely digital.
They did it with the S or whatever, but
They are with the new one. Supposedly.
Still gonna have a disk drive.
No, I'm talking about the one that's coming out in 2021.
yeah, it has a disk drive still.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be because I know PlayStation, but I mean,
Yeah.
No, I think they could improve on the design because right now they're using a mobile GPU instead of using a heat sink. Do an all-in-one liquid cooler.
Yeah.
That would drastically improve.
Just enclose it.
You can get them. You can get them for the older Xboxes. The liquid coolers. They make aftermarket ones, but I've never heard anybody using them.
Yeah. That sounds like some hardcore shit, especially for old stuff. But I've been looking at
why
the.
You'd want to do that for an Xbox.
Yeah.
For an Xbox. PC Master Race, man.
It'd be better if they allowed you to install Windows on them instead of having the locked ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's why. Well, they're
for that.
They're talking about the new Xbox.
It's illegal.
They're saying the new Xbox, and Jason put it in the chat. It's supposed to be able to run Windows 10, which means that there's a rumor going around you'll be able to play Steam games on it. Do you know how big of a game changer that would be? Because, I get it. Shannon, he's a PlayStation loser, whatever. But it would bring a huge market to the Xbox thing.
Oh, yeah. You play your Age of Empires, Diablo to your what do you call it? The there was a North Korean waifu game.
Shannon says that fuck digital only. Digital is restrictive. I kind of feel the same way, but I get like I say that and I have 4 games on disc. That's it. So maybe I'm just talking out my ass. It's all I have is the Fallout games on disc and Titanfall 2.
Well, if they put Windows on it, you should be able. That means you could probably put Linux on it. You can put Linux on it, you can crack that shit all fucking day.
Yeah.
Arts 10.
And that's the cool thing about Windows. It's easily modifiable by users, which is cool. So you can do it on your own. And then just the Steam thing alone, like that's what I'm super hyped for. I know it's going to be like fucking, it's much like a new iPhone. But if you do Steam games, you're going to catch me playing Fallout New Vegas still with mods that beautify and then add extra shit. So I'm not really going to buy nothing new. I'm just going to still play a 12-year-old game on a really expensive system.
I was going to say, I'm still playing Vegas and 3. So, I mean, I was playing it the other day.
I just started 3 again.
Coming out with mods for it.
Yeah. It sucks they didn't come out for mods on consoles. But if you play it on PC, you can do it.
Yeah, the processors that they're using a game changer. I think they're doing the Ryzen series mobile GPU.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane.
They had NVIDIA in the first one. The very first
one. Radeon for the GPUs and Ryzen for the CPU.
Yeah. Well, that'll be good. I like the new Ryzen chips.
Oh yeah, they blow Intel stuff out of the water at least until next year, the year after.
I got a MSI Lobo and what else did I get from them? I got a whole bunch of shit from fucking MSI, and I got to do a PC build on it to try it out. But that Lobo's it's their newest one for the Ryzen, and it's supposed to be fire, so I don't know. But I that takes a lot for me to say because I've been Intel hardcore.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they gave us an option to customize it and upgrade it with chips the new Threadripper Gen 3.
It'd be cool if they put a motherboard on there where you can install your own chips,
Oh yeah.
And add your own, maybe upgrade your RAM on it or something. And then again, maybe I'm talking to my ass because I don't know the technical stuff of it. But we've kept you guys here for almost 2 hours. You guys got any closing thoughts before we go?
Don't eat yellow snow.
Don't eat yellow snow.
The chips sound really good right now, man.
I scarfed down that whole. I scarfed down all those nachos earlier, man, so I'm kind of good right now. But, Glenn, what you got, man?
Oh, keep on good fight, man. Advocate on Twitter. Don't give it up. And remember to take breaks. We will fuck you up.
It's up to us, guys. It really is. And so, I don't really have much as far as inspirational word goes. These guys hit it on the head. Don't eat yellow snow. Keep the fight up. But I will say this. Next week, for you guys that weren't here earlier, I did come across a big box of stuff that we're going to start giving away on the channel. And you guys will enjoy it. Got some RDAs, got some mods. And so on Monday's show, when we're back with Legion and Adam, when we're doing the nursing home show, we'll give away this one. It's a Desire Design mod. I hate the company, but the device will work for you. And I think it's the X Mini. And it's 21,700, or you can get a sleeve for 18,650. You guys will have to buy those. They don't come with them. But yeah, anyways.
I should say, I think we all probably have enough of them as it is.
Yeah. And then in the chat we got Jason says, the only tip he has, don't vape hot sauce.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. Shannon, thank you for being here. What?
Have you tried those Reaper tacos that Taco Bell's got going on? I don't normally eat them.
No.
They're like, this is hot. Are you sure you want one? Yeah. And like I sat there and ate like 6 of them. And I'm like, I went up to the counter. I'm like, I want my money back. This shit's not hot.
Dude, Taco Bell's food's never spicy, but for some reason their hot sauce goes in fine, comes out terrible.
I don't have that problem. Man.
I probably have butt cancer, but we'll talk about that next time. But yeah, guys, so we'll end it here. Unless you guys got anything to add? No? No? Okay, cool. So we finally got the buttholes. We'll close it out. Sorry you got in late, T-Gets. Hope work wasn't too shitty. Thank you all for being here. Shannon, thank you so much for being here. He says he's going to go crack off, play Madden, and crank the new Eminem album. If you guys listen to like good rappers, it's not too bad. Go check it out. And then, yeah, Mowgli, shoot me your info. And otherwise, thank you so much, Steven, for coming on, man. I know we tried to do it before. We finally got it going. And Glenn, thank you for always co-hosting, holding it down. And we'll be back next Friday. And, well, we'll be back on Monday as well. But you guys know all that. So anyways, we'll see you guys later.